Well, folks, we're back here today, and I'm going to show you again how I compost in place. I know I showed you a year ago in a video, but some of you didn't see it and you don't think to go back and look. But I've got all kind of green matter here, broken down out of the garden. Take it out so I can show you. I got wood chips and all kind of broken wood pieces, that type of thing down in there, leaves. And I'm going to put this green matter right on the top, some of it. I'm going to put a layer of cardboard, because this will all break down. It'll all break down to good garden soil. And then I got more greens out of the garden, and that's just like grass, weeds and stuff that I pulled up out of the yard that I just threw out here. We'll put a little bit of this potting mix in here, and it's just a cheap garden soil. Enough to cover it, not even an inch. Now I'm going to put more paper. You can put more cardboard if you have it. I just happen to have this paper. Now this is what to do if you want to plant in it right away. You don't want to sit there and wait for it all to break down. Now we're going to put, I had a few scraps from cabbages and one thing or another in my little composting thing in the house, so I'm putting that in there. And see, it's nothing that it's cabbage, celery, stuff like that normally you throw away. With me, I put it in my compost bin, or I either build a tote or a bucket or a pot with it like this. Now you want to put you some dirt, some good dirt on top of it. If you got native dirt, that works great. It's hard for me to dig up native dirt around here. Now I'm just going to put some more of this $2.99 a bag or $2.98 a bag potting soil, topsoil, whatever they want to call it. It's a good garden mix to put in pots or raised beds, that type of thing. Doesn't take much. But that's basically almost ready to plant in. I'm going to put a little bit more dirt. I'll put a little bit of garden soil from my pile out there. Doesn't take much because all that stuff down below is going to feed your plants. as they grow, because as they grow, all that stuff below is going to break down. It's not going to attract any ants, so you don't have to worry about that. But that's ready to plant in right now. And I'm debating whether what I want to plant in there. I'm not sure. I've got some of this the rutabagas from my and I'm kind of thinking about transplanting some of those in here and see how they work. Because once they get 3 or 4 leaves on them, the plants are little, but you can transplant them, and they need probably 6 inches, 5 or 6 inches away from one another. So I could put probably 6 or 7 plants in here and space them out. But what I want to do first is wet that down. It's supposed to rain Thursday if you live in this area. So if you can get your stuff planted now. Now that's if you live in north central Texas, around Hood County area. That's where I'm at. We're going to get rain Thursday, or supposed to. So I'm going to try to get as much of my stuff transplanted as possible between now and then. Because I always want it to rain on my stuff. But this will give it a good start, just soaking this dirt down and the soil that's under it. And all the stuff I got for compost in there. Yeah, I see water coming out the bottom. But I think it'll work good. But see, these have a tendency to fall over. And if you don't transplant them early enough, you'll basically lose them. But you can put them down just a little bit deeper, which makes them grow a little sturdier. And I'm putting like 2 or 3 little plants to a hill because I don't know if all of them will survive the transplant. And then I can go ahead and use my pot for something else. Whew. It's not going to hold all of them, that's for sure. I really should separate them. When your tomatoes get like 3 good leaves on them, you can transplant them. It doesn't matter how small they are. But yeah, I want to transplant flowers in this pot and put it back on the patio. See, that's about all that pot's going to hold right there. But I've got 4 other pots of like these green ones that I want to set up. But I'm not putting rutabaga in all of them. I want to put tomatoes and other stuff in them. But I wanted to try the rutabaga there too. But I've got pots back here that I wanted to try some of this in. Oh man. And I've got this broken up pot here. I can put a piece of cardboard around it though, and you go get a piece. Curve it around. Let's face it, it don't matter if the side's busted out like that. I know you can see it. See how the whole side's busted out? But I'm gonna put this cardboard in here. Just like that, and that's gonna close that hole up enough to hold my dirt in. Put my cardboard in the bottom. Looking for some more of that tall weed to pull up, but you know what, it doesn't matter. I got the cardboard in there. I can put some of this in here and fill this pot up enough that I can plant some of that rutabaga in there. So don't be too quick to trash your pots because they got a hole. They got a drain, so. And if you got good rich dirt, you can wait and put compost to them later when your plants come up. need my little seat, don't I? I need my little seat. Let me go get it. Gotta rest my back. Whew. I do need to water that. Get one of my compost tea buckets here. Water it in good. Oh, I feel so much better on my back. And see that cardboard, as it gets wet, it's going to kind of conform to the circle of the pot a little better. Whew. Oh, let it soak in a little bit. Whew. It's getting hot out here. It's supposed to be like 69 or 70 today. Yeah, I think that 5-tier trellis is going to be awfully pretty to get a bunch of flowers growing in it. Especially if I can have it on my porch. My patio, my back patio. Hope you can see me up there. Now I'm just going to get me a couple more of these. Here's one. And I'm only going to put maybe 2 of these, because I'm not sure how big these are going to get. Or maybe 3. I may be sorry I put 3 in there. I don't know. On the bok choy, I only put 1 in each pot. But I'll try 3 hills in here and see how it works. And I got some more pots that I can set up to transplant these in. Because I got quite a few of them here. And I don't want to use all my big pots to put them in, because I want those big pots for tomatoes and stuff. But hey, I may go ahead and use them. I don't know. But see, that's going to work good enough. It'll last another season or 2, even with the holes in the side. Now, what did I do with my... markers over here behind me to where I couldn't reach them. And see, this gray one was from last year. It withstands the hot sun a lot more than some of these little thin ones do. Ain't that right, little buddy? Huh? Ain't that right? Rutabaga. But I've got to gather some more of my pots up, find a place to put them, and then start filling them up and transplanting rutabagas. That's probably what I'm going to do for the rest of the day, or most of the day. Because you got to have a place to put them. And I'm just going to set this right over here where I've already got some more transplants. Right there. I put the bucket right here because I've got bell pepper, green bell pepper, and green bell pepper. You know, we planted from that bell pepper I cut up the other day. And these are just greens here. Kale, Swiss chard, that type of thing. So they're not going to get all over this, so it'll be all right for them to sit there. And that might be what I do with a lot of the rest of them, is sit them around here in front of some of these other pots and totes that I know is not going to travel everywhere. But I wanted to show. I was having a problem keeping that pot level, since all I did was just sit it on those two logs beside the tote, because there was enough room to put a pot there. So I went in the shed and found a scrap piece of plywood just big enough to put across those logs, put the drip pan in the pot on, and it's going to work great. Next year I might be able to fix a more permanent platform, maybe a concrete platform. But those logs are working for now, and they'll be there for quite a while. They're cedar. They don't attract ants or bugs. I've got one oak under there, but that's okay. But see, my water is not going to be dripping under my logs. My water is going to go in my compost tea buckets from these totes. I got a drip pan under there, so it's not going to be running out. So the logs are not underneath, are not going to stay wet to attract bugs, hopefully. But I've got a few more of these small pots, like I said, that I'm going to go ahead and set up. But look at there, my hillbilly tomatoes. There's 3 of them in there. When they get a little bigger, I'll pull at least 1 out or 2 out and put it somewhere else. Any in there. But I got to get me, I know I've got a bunch of buckets. Or not buckets, I've got a bunch of little pots somewhere that I gathered up. I think I'll put them over here at this other shed. But I've got these. I've got all of these little pots that I can fill up with dirt and space them around over there, I guess. And some of these have little platform dishes to sit them on. Some don't. One's a can, which can works fine. So there's 7 that I can fix. That'll be 7 more pots of my rutabagas. And I can set them in some of these totes in the corners of them to help keep them watered, or I may just put them over here somewhere. I don't know yet. But I'm going to put a handful of just the wood chips in the bottom, just for drainage. Oops, I got a drain pan down in there. Need a drain pan in there. And I'm going to try to get me some more wood chips so I have plenty to put out here in the garden. Because I definitely need more. And there's dirt in there too. Whew. I need to go get some more of this dirt. hope little buddy's been keeping y'all busy. Let me see if you can even see my pots down here. Oh, yeah, you can see. Basically see what I was doing. Oh. Whoops. Need to put some more of that dirt in there. Story of my life is standing on my head, y'all. I don't think there's much I find to do that I don't have to stand on my head. And y'all, if you don't have pots to plant in, you don't have the money to buy the pots, buy you cheap bags of potting soil. Cut the bags in half. Flip them up to where the open ends are up. Leave your potting soil in the bag. Plant right in it. That is a good enough pot right there that you don't have to go to all the expense of buying pots and real big and building raised beds and all this, because you see how I planted my tomato plants in potting bags. I've got mulch, I've got food scraps, I got dirt, I've got sawdust, I've got all kind of stuff in those bags, and it makes really good potting soil. So I utilize what I've got because I don't have the money to go to the big expense of buying everything. I can't afford it. Ideally, I would love to have about 2 foot wide, 8 foot long raised beds, but I can't keep the bottom of them watered. And that's the problem I ran into. That's why I went to totes and buckets and pots. Something that I can fix a water reservoir in the bottom of for when it gets in the middle of the summer with no rain, the ground completely dries out to a bone. I mean, the roots cannot literally go down deep enough to find water, and then your plants are going to die no matter how much you water them. So this is the alternative. Just use potting bags. Make you a planting pot out of a potting bag like I did. I've got 3 or 4, I got 4 of them, 5 right here with tomatoes in them. Get an old can, put holes in the bottom, plant in it. The plants don't mind. They definitely don't mind. I mean, you could buy a cheap bag of potting soil, make the pot into a planter just by cutting one end open, flattening the other end down to where it'll stand upright, even if you have to prop it up. And plant in it. You don't have to spend $30 for a pot. You don't have to spend $7 for a tote. This bag right here is a planter. You see, I've already got the top cut off of it. Roll your bags down. Your pot will stand up. And if you buy the cheap potting soil, you've already got your dirt in there. Plant right in it. I guarantee you, whatever you put in there will grow. Keep it watered. You got to put a few holes in the bottom though. But these plastic bags will hold water, moisture, a lot better than these, what do you call them, the grow bags? The grow bags, all the water evaporates out the sides, especially here in Texas. Now, if you live in an area where it's real humid and damp, you don't have that problem. We have that problem here. So you can't plant in potting bags, grow bags. You got to have something that holds the water. Now, I know everybody does not live up on a hill like I do, where there's so many rocks. There's more rocks than there is dirt. And that's why I have to basically go to bags and pots. Now, granted, out there in the rock garden, there's nothing on the bottom, but you got to remember, I put about 35 bags of wood chips out there one year. Then I come back and I put about 35 bags of topsoil in there. Then I came back and put about 35 bags of cow manure in it, just to plant my moonflowers and my other stuff out there. And you saw last year they didn't do anything because it was too hot and dry, and I couldn't keep them watered. But a lot of them are coming back. I hope I can keep them watered a little better this year so they'll look good. So we'll see. And I did get my crepe myrtles. All of them have come back except that one at the corner. I've given up on the corner one. It's just not finding water over there. So I don't think I'm going to worry about it. I got a pot of mums over there growing, so that'll be all right. I'm going to do these like I did the bok choy. I'm going to put one to each pot. One of these rutabagas. And see what happens. And I did forget to put my cardboard in there. Y'all, I was talking too much and I forgot to put cardboard in the bottom. Oh. Oh, gotta sit down a minute, y'all. Whew. Just to take some pressure off my back, bending over so much. But yeah, Potting bags will work as a pot. If you'll remember, can't see what I'm showing you, but there's a bag right there, and it's got a hillbilly tomato growing in it. It's a little bitty because it just come up from the seed, but that's a potting bag. And I just filled it full of mulch and food scraps and greens and dirt and potting mix, whatever I could find to fill it up that would grow something. These two over here are the same way. They're potting bags, y'all. Plastic garden soil bags. So you don't have to have a pot to grow in. Get you a potting soil bag. $2.97 will give you the pot and your dirt. How cheap is that? Or go to the Dollar Tree. Buy you a bunch of these black buckets. They're $1.25, $1.24 a piece now. They used to be $1 a piece. I plant in them all the time, and I use them for my compost tea buckets. But your potting soil bags are the cheapest route you're going to go, because you can buy topsoil sometimes for $1.97 for a bag like this, $2.97 a bag. Take it home, cut the top off of it, shape it to where it'll stand up, and plant in it. I've got tomato stakes around those bags because I know I'm going to have to stake the tomatoes up. The tomato stakes also hold the bag upright. So there you go. It's not rocket science. And I guarantee you, the first year you grow anything, you're going to get addicted to it. You'll probably add to your garden each year. Now let's see if I can get some more of these plants up. Whew. And if I put one or two to each one, I'm still going to have some left over. I'm not sure how these rutabagas will do, because I've never planted them before. Never have I planted rutabagas before. But we'll see. And I am leaving enough room in the top to put a little bit of wood chips in later as they grow. Hopefully I'll be able to get some wood chips. Whew. Oh. Goodness, this is only about half. Yeah, one reason sometimes your seedlings don't survive is because they're planted too shallow. When they come up from the seeds, a lot of them are too shallow, so they'll die out quick. So when you transplant them, you put them down a little bit deeper. And that helps the roots. Yeah, see, I've still got about half that many left. I may have to leave some right in this tray. Yeah, when you transplant them, you can put them down just a tiny bit deeper. You don't want them too deep, but you can put them down a tiny bit deeper. I'll go ahead and stick another one in there, because that one little transplant looks kind of puny. Don't it, little buddy? Huh? Kitty, kitty. Where you going? Huh? Where you going? I'm getting dirt on you from my glove. You don't care. No, he don't care. Now don't push that over. Some of these have already laid over because they're getting spindly. That's another reason it's a good thing to transplant them. They get too spindly, you know, they lay over and then they'll die. Whereas when you transplant them, you're putting those roots down a little bit deeper. I know y'all can't see little buddy, but he's laying over here against the screen pot. He's got his face in the shade. Oh, I've got all size markers here. Where you going? Huh? You down here behind me? He's a sweetie. You got dirty ears. Yeah, you got dirty ears. I'm glad I cut all these. Markers the other day out of my tote lid. Don't push that over, little buddy. There, I got all my little pots marked. And I still got all of those. Where are you going? Where are you going? Huh? He said he's got to show people in the camera he's here. He got to show people I'm here. I'm here. He's showing people he's here. Yeah, he's showing people he's here. Come here. I moved the bucket the pot out of the way for you to come on up in here a little bit and get out from under my leg. Silly kitty. He likes to garden too. Yes, he does. He likes to work in the garden. Yes, he does. He loves to work in the garden. Yes, he does. Whew. Look at all that cat hair. Goodness gracious, little buddy, you're shedding. He's shedding like crazy. Yes, he is. Say hello for the camera. Say hello for the camera up there. Say hello. I know everybody wants to see you. Yes, they do. All my viewers love to see little buddy. And he loves to work in the garden. Woo, look at all that cat hair. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He loves working in the garden. Yes, he does. We still got all those rutabagas to do something with. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to put them all. I have to find some more pots. Yeah, I'll have to find more little pots. What are you doing? What are you doing? Gonna lay down between the pots in the wood chips on your back and so your belly can be rubbed. Look at that. He wants his belly rubbed. You getting all dirty. You getting all dirty. You are. He likes his belly. He likes his belly rubbed. You like your belly rubbed. You don't care if you're laying in the dirt. You figure it'll come off. It'll come off. Yeah, it'll come off. Oh, got to figure out what to do with these. I may have to space them out in there and leave them. Yeah, I have to find me some more pots. Now I got cat hair. I got little buddy's cat hair all over me. Yeah, I got your cat hair all over me. He said he had to help me transplant rutabagas. Look at all that hair. You got claws, little buddy. I don't want you grabbing at me with your claws. Got wood chips all over your back. Yeah, you got wood chips all over your back. Whew. What do you think? You think we need to find a place to put these pots? You think we need to find a place to put these pots? Huh? Oh, Lordy. Lordy, Miss Molly. I could sit here for the rest of the day and not do anything else, little buddy. Yes, I could. And that would just suit you fine. Yeah, that would just suit you fine. All that hair, that fuzz. Woo! Ruffling your feathers. Well, what do you think? Think we need to find something to do? There's somebody weed eating. Oh, man. Am I tapping you on the head? Am I tapping on your head? I got to get the rest of my green pots filled so I can plant in them. I got more hillbilly tomatoes. I got a whole bunch of stuff that needs to be planted. I got dirt on my forehead. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh. Oh my God, I'm just covered in Buddy's hair. And you just went under my leg to put more on there. Whew. Let me go make sure that I haven't hit the bobber and opened my trunk again. I guess not, it's down. I have a habit of hitting it and opening the trunk. But let's see. I think I'm going to move them. Move them over here. Some of this stuff needs to come up out of here. One thing about it, when it comes up in wood chips, it's fairly easy to pull out. Easily. You can get hold of it. And see, all of this is good to go in the, put it in the totes with the buckets, the pots down in the bottom to break down for plant food. Works really well. I want to leave a space so I can step over there and harvest my greens when I want to. But there you go, I got more. That's about half of my rutabagas. I got to find some more pots, little ones, and go ahead and transplant the rest of them. So I'm going to end the video. I think I'm going to search around and see if I can find some more little pots and see if I can get the rest of them transplanted. So we'll catch you on the next one. Good planting, y'all.